When did you know that your parents only saw you as property? In my family, we were taught that as long as our parents were alive, our bodies belonged to them, which meant they could sell our blood, our hair, and our organs. My father ran our house like a livestock farm. It started with our hair. They let it grow for 2 years, then shave us completely bald and sell our hair to high-end wig companies. We'd sit in the garage while he used clippers to shave off every last millimeter, our scalps bleeding from where he pressed too hard. The blood drive started at age 7, twice a week at an underground clinic where they didn't ask questions about children. I'd watch my blood fill bag after bag until my vision swam. Dad negotiated with the technician saying, "These kids are premium stock. I want top dollar for every pint." When I turned 14, Dad cornered me and explained that I was now old enough for premium donations, starting with carving out part of my liver for a wealthy client. The back alley surgery happened in a converted garage with no anesthesia. I bit down on a leather belt while a nervous surgeon cut into my abdomen, feeling every red-hot slice and stitch and begging him to stop. Every time the surgeon hesitated, my dad said something like, "She's my property until I'm dead. You got a problem with that? I'll find someone who doesn't." The pain lasted for weeks, a constant fire in my side that made it impossible to sleep or eat. Dad sold pieces of my liver twice more over the next year, each time warning me, "Good daughters don't complain about helping their families survive. Bad daughters end up in unmarked graves." When I was 16, the fertility harvesting started. They'd inject me with hormones that made my body swell and extract my eggs with a metal device meant for cattle breeding. Dad sold my eggs to 4 different couples, joking to Mom, "I'm getting rich off our unborn grandchildren." I stood in my bathroom one night, blood pouring out of me, and I realized that waiting until they were dead so I could be free wasn't an option. At this rate, there was no way I was surviving that long. That's when Dad announced he'd found a buyer for one of my kidneys. "You got 2 kidneys, but I only need 1 to retire. Isn't that a miracle?" When I begged him to reconsider, he slapped me across the face and said, "I made you, I own you, and I'll harvest whatever I want from you until the day I die." So I did the only thing I could think of. I went to the kidney buyer myself, a week before Dad had scheduled my surgery, and told him that I'd charge him $5,000 less if he took my kidney right now without my father's involvement. I lay down on the table and prayed this wasn't the worst mistake of my life. The second I could stand after surgery, I took the money and ran, still half sedated and bleeding, but finally free. I used the money to disappear completely, changing my name and moving to a new city. For the first time in my life, my body belonged to me. But Dad tracked me down. He showed up at my apartment with legal papers claiming I owed him $200,000 for medical procedures. When I said I didn't have the money, he smiled and said, "Come home and make it." I refused, and he snarled that he'd see me in court. The legal battle destroyed my savings and my sanity. Dad hired lawyers who argued that parents had unlimited rights over their minor children's bodies, while I struggled to find anyone who believed my story. But everything changed when the last person I ever expected reached out to help me, the surgeon from my back alley liver surgery all those years ago. He'd been racked with guilt about his part in my torture and wanted to help make it right. He came to court with a gruesome testimony on the inhumane procedures, along with recordings of Dad discussing prices for our body parts. In one recording, you could hear Dad saying, "The girl's kidney is worth 40 grand, but if we wait another year, her uterus might be worth even more." The judge immediately ordered a criminal investigation, and Dad was arrested for child trafficking and aggravated assault. Now Dad is serving 15 years in prison, but the victory feels hollow because I lost my entire family in the process. My mother still sends me letters saying, "You destroyed our family. Your father was just trying to teach you responsibility." My siblings won't speak to me because they blame me for Dad's imprisonment. Even the surgeon, the man who finally saved my life, suffers in prison because he chose to help me. I wonder constantly about all my children out there that I'll never get to meet. And some nights I still lie awake, running my fingers over my scars, checking to make sure I still have the organs I have left.